Hi, second grade friends. I'm going to continue to read in our book that we started with Mrs. Sodden on Monday and continued with Mrs. Sylvester yesterday, The Earth Dragon Awakes. So I'm going to be reading chapter 3 today. Um, I'll be reading pages 17 through 24. And we have a question for today that we need to think about while we are reading. And the question is, what words on pages 22 and 23 describe Chin and Ah Sing's responses to the start of the earthquake? And we need to write at least two words and what they help you understand for each character. So keep that in mind as we read. And then when you go back to answer it, you're going to be looking specifically on pages 22 and 23 to help you find that answer. And your parents were going to be sent a link from your teacher to access the book on Pearson because we know you don't have the book at home. Okay? So going to go ahead and start reading and reading the story with permission from HarperCollins Children's Books. And it's The Earth Dragon Awakes by Lawrence Yap. 5:12 a.m. Wednesday, April 18th, 1906. Travis household, Sacramento Street area. Sawyer has been restless the whole evening. He whimpers all the time. He keeps walking his master. Henry does not sleep well either. It is twilight, just before dawn. Sawyer lets out a howl. Henry sits up and tries to calm his pet. Everything's all right, boy. Around him, in the same boring room, the same bureau, the same bookcase, the same desk. Then he sees the gleam of his new roller skates. They are hanging on the back of a chair. Perhaps not everything is boring. He can hardly wait to go skating. Suddenly, Henry hears a low rumbling. It sounds like a train coming. His books bounce on the shelves as if they're alive. Henry has been through earthquakes before. He is not worried. The shaking stops for a moment. He takes a breath. The rumbling starts again. The bookcase tilts back and forth. The books fall. Thud, thud, thud. Henry's heavy oak bed hops with them. It skips like a grasshopper. He holds his dog tight. More books spill out of the bookcase. The chest of drawers dances a jig. The walls groan. The wooden floor ripples like waves of an ocean. Windows rattle. Doors thump in their frames. The whole house shakes like Sawyer when he has an itch. Plates crash in the kitchen below. Pictures and then plaster drop from the wall. Old boards show through the gaps. Henry coughs in the growing cloud of dust. And still the shaking goes on. His bed and all his furniture circle in a slow waltz around the room. Then the window shatters. The shade flies up with a flap. The other houses in the neighborhood jerk about. Immediately across the street, the Smith's house falls apart. Bricks rain on the ground. Dust rises and hides the street. From within the cloud, Henry hears screams. His father bangs at his door. Henry, Henry, are you all right? He calls from the hallway. Yes, how about you and Mama? Henry asks. He stumbles out of bed. The floor shakes so much that he cannot stand. He crawls to the floor. We're fine, darling, his mother says. Henry tries to open his door, but it won't budge. The door is now crooked in the frame. It's jammed, he says. He hears another rumble. There is a crash above him. He dodges when a chunk of ceiling falls. Bricks shower down. They smash against the floor. Boards splinter and break. "5:12 a.m., Wednesday, April 18th, 1906. Chin and Ah Sing's tenement, Chinatown. Chin is pouring water from a pitcher into a bowl. He needs to wash up. Then they will catch a cable car to Henry's house to cook breakfast for the Travises. Suddenly everything trembles. The bowl creeps across the table. Then even the table crawls away. Chin spills water everywhere. "You can write your mother about your first earthquake," his father says, unworriedly. The floor rolls under them like a wooden sea. The bowl slips over the edge and crashes. Boxes tumble from the stack. Their possessions scatter across the boards. Chin and his father drop to their knees. Ah Sing tries to sound brave. The earth dragon, sorry, technical difficulties there for a minute. So, Ah Sing tries to sound brave. The earth dragon must be scratching, he laughs. Chin tries to be just as fearless. When the room stills, he tries to joke like his father. He must really have an itch. Before his father can answer, the trembling begins again. Chin waits for it to stop, but it goes on and on. The tenement creaks and groans like an old giant. Their bed and bureau prowl like hungry animals. Ah Sing crawls over. He puts his arms around Chin. "Don't be scared," he says. Ah Sing's voice sounds funny because he is shaking with the room. Beneath them, unseen timbers crack like sticks. The next instant, one side of the room tilts upward. They slide helplessly with all the furniture toward the opposite wall. Chin feels like a doll. Their belongings crash and thump as they pile up. His father forces him under the table. "The tenement is falling," his father shouts. Walls crack and crumble. Windows shatter. Broken glass sprays like little daggers. Chin's stomach feels funny when the room itself drops. They bounce against the floor as it stops with a jerk. For a moment, they lie there. Their neighbors scream from the middle level. Ah Sing and Chin's room is crushing them. Then the floor twitches. It plunges again. There are more screams. This time, it is the ground level that is smashed. Their floor gives one final thump and stops. Dazed, Chin peeks out from beneath the table. He sees cracks. They spread like a crazy spiderweb around all the walls. Spurts of powdery plaster puff out. The walls crumble like paper. The ceiling drops down on them. So I'm going to stop there for today. And I want you to think about the question that you need to answer for the two characters. So the question again is, what words on pages 22 and 23 describe Chin and Ah Sing's responses to the start of the earthquake? So you need to find at least two words that help you understand how each character is responding to the start of the earthquake. Have a good day.